In this video, we are going to learn income demand. Income demand means it's a relationship between income of the consumer and demand for a commodity. So the income demand explains relationship between income of the consumer and quantity demand of a good, assuming that all remaining things are constant, which means price of the commodity, price of other commodities, and taste and preferences, all other factors should be constant. When income of the consumer increases, demand for normal goods increases and superior good also increases. When income of the consumer decreases, demand for normal goods or superior good decreases and inferior good demand increases. So there is a functional relationship between change in income and quantity demand. So that we can shown like dx is equals to function of y, whereas dx stands for demand for x commodity and f stands for functional relationship and y stands for quantity, sorry, y stands for income of the consumer. So income demand schedule, which means it is a income levels of individual and various quantity demands. So the functional relationship between income and quantity demand be inverse or direct depending on the nature of the commodity. So when income of the consumer increases, quantity demand for superior goods increases and quantity demand for inferior good decreases. Here superior goods means some more costly goods and high priced goods, simply we can say prestigious goods also. And inferior goods means less priced goods and low quality goods. So when income of the consumer increases, quantity demand for superior good increases and normal goods also demand increases. And when income of the consumer increases, inferior good demand decreases. When fall in income of the consumer, inferior good demand increases. So this is income demand schedule. In the first column, you are showing income of the consumer, and in the second column, quantity demand for superior goods, and third column, quantity demand for inferior goods. When consumer's income 2000, the consumer purchases 4 units of superior goods and 12 units of inferior goods. Now, consumer's income increases 2000 to 4000. Here, when consumer's income increases, superior demand increases up to 6 units and demand for inferior good decreases 12 to 10. Again, the consumer's income increases 4000 to 6000. Again, demand for superior good increases 6 to 8 and demand for inferior good decreases 10 to 8. As like when consumer's income increases up to 10,000, quantity demand for superior good increases up to 12 and uh, quantity demand for inferior good decreases to 4. So this is what shows income demand schedule. Income of the consumer and superior good quantity demand is positively related, and income of the consumer and quantity demand for inferior good is negatively related. So in this diagram you are showing the superior good demand curve. So in case of superior goods or normal goods, quantity demand will increase when there is an increase in income of the consumer. So this diagram shows superior good demand curve. Along the x-axis we know is showing quantity demand, and along the y-axis you're taking income of the consumer. When consumer's income y, then quantity demand for superior good is q. Now consumer's income increases y1 to y1, then quantity demand increases q to q1. So the demand curve as like the blue line curve indicates demand curve. There is a positively related left to right upward slope demand curve. So this is superior good demand curve, left to right upward slopes. Now come to the inferior good demand curve. So when income of the consumer increases, inferior good demand decreases. When consumer's income decreases, inferior good demand increases. So quantity demand for inferior good decreased with increase in income of the consumer. So as like along the x-axis, we know quantity demand, along the y-axis, income of the consumer. When consumer's income is y, then quantity demand is q. Now consumer's income increases y to Y1, then quantity demand decreases Q2, Q1. Now the demand curve will be like that, left to right, downward slope, left to right, downward slope. So there is a inversely relationship or negative relationship. Income of the consumer and quantity demand for inferior good is inversely related, negative related, and oppositely related. So this is what uh, income demand. Thank you.